Welcome to another edition of The Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm Keyshawn Dorsey, and here with me is Coach Moore. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, Keyshawn. Thanks for having me on.
The Tigers are now 7-0 after beating East St. Louis, Illinois, 46-40 last Friday night. The Tigers actually trailed at half 20-10. What was the message to the team at halftime?
We just went into halftime, and the coaches get to work right away on deciding, what, if any, adjustments we need to make. And, we just want the kids to get in, get off their feet, get hydrated. And then as soon as the coaches are done, we start implementing, what adjustments or tweaks that we're going to make. And then we go out and play football. There's really no, rah-rah, let's... because we've already been fighting hard. I mean, that's why we're there. So there's nothing really like that. We just go out. We want to correct what can be corrected and go back out and keep swinging.
Now in your fourth year here at Massillon, was that one of your biggest regular season wins you've had as a part of this program?
I let other people judge that. I'm happy that we won. I'm happy to be 8-0, and looking forward to this week.
I thought the home crowd was great at the game last Friday night. Do your players feed off the crowd, or do you try to have them tune the crowd out?
Oh, we feed off the crowd. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I thought the crowd was amazing. The best I've seen since they got told to quiet down by a referee. I think that was 2 or 3 years ago, and they went. They kind of erupted. But this crowd this week was awesome. They're loud. They're into the game. They were standing up. People standing up, trying to get other people, to stand up and involved. And the kids feed off of that energy. And it was a factor in the game. There's no doubt about that.
Tiger running back Jameer Thomas is now the all-time leading rusher here at Massillon. That's pretty special, isn't it?
It's very special. Jameer Thomas is, he's grown so much over the last 4 years, and I'm just really proud of him. And he's put a lot of carries behind that record and worked for a lot of them, and he certainly deserves it.
Your defense gave up a lot of yards in the game, but came up with 2 key stops in the fourth quarter. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, they were really good, and that changes some angles on things. And we didn't do a great job tackling in space, but like I said, when you haven't seen that type of speed, especially to the extent with the amount of guys that they had like that, it changes some things. Things happen quicker. The angles are different, and we struggled with that early. But played a little bit better in the second half, and then the last 2 series we played really, really well and got the stops we needed to get.
I thought once again your special teams played well. How do you feel about their performance?
No, I agree. I thought going into the game that special teams was an area that we definitely had the advantage, and that proved to be true on Friday. We had another turnover on our kickoff team, and a great play by Heath Manson to force the fumble, and Miles Stinson to recover it. And those are 2 guys that aren't getting snaps on offense or defense, but are playing lights out for us on special teams. And to have guys do that it's a true advantage for us in almost every game that we play.
In a moment, we'll hear from a Tiger player and hear more from Coach Moore. But first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thank you, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Joining Coach and I is Tiger wide receiver and defensive back, Dean Clark. Dean, how does it feel to be 7-0 so far this season?
Feels great. Feels great to have all your hard work and stuff translate to the field and have an undefeated record so far.
As a leader on this year's team, what are you doing to keep your teammates focused week to week and not looking ahead?
Just focus on the opponent at hand, study film and keys, and practice hard during the week, and make sure we handle one game at a time.
Describe the feeling of rushing out of the tunnel Friday nights.
Coming out of the tunnel is an unbelievable experience, especially my favorite thing is hearing the crowd chant TIG, and I mean it's the best feeling you can feel.
Like several of your teammates, you were recruited to play college football next fall. I understand you have selected Kent State. Tell us more about the selection process for you.
It was kind of a decision me and my parents made. We sat down and talked about it. We chose Kent because we really like the coaching staff there. I like it being close to home, and I feel like that's what helped me in the future and with further things that come into my life.
And finally, the Tigers face Sun Valley, Pennsylvania this Friday night. Tell us what you know about the Vanguards.
They're a really offensive, dominant team. They like to put points on the board. I think they're averaging maybe 46 points a game right now. So as a defensive player, we think we had to step up our defensive game and limit the amount of points they put up on the board.
Thanks, Dean. Good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
Coach Moore, how satisfied is it for you to have such an experienced player like Dean on the field every Friday night?
Oh, it's fabulous having Dean with us on the field every Friday night. He's a great player. He's a great example for our younger guys as to how you approach being a Massillon Tiger football player, and he's a great captain for us. He's not afraid to speak his mind when things come up, and he's the kind of guy you wish you had 100 of him.
Your Tigers are home this Friday night to face another new opponent, Sun Valley, Pennsylvania. The Vanguards are 3-4 coming into this game. Tell us more about their program and how this game came about.
Well, how this game came about, really, being an independent, we're really scouring the country for games to fill our schedule, especially these late season games when almost everybody's in league play. So it just happened where they were open, we were open, and made a connection, and they had an interest in coming to Massillon for a game, and so we went ahead and scheduled it.
What can you tell us about the Sun Valley offense?
Senior quarterback, big arm, good player, nice, good sized kid. Number 5 is their running back, but they also move him around, play him at some receiver. And really good, tough player. Really like number 5. 12 is their best receiver, and he's a good player too.
And how about the Vanguard's defense?
Operate out of a 3-4 personnel base. It looks like similar to us. They stand up the backside defensive end, so he's probably a multiple position guy, outside linebacker / end type of player. But they, it's almost like an old 4-4 defense. They play a lot of cover 3. The outside guys are more safety like, some of the offense, they have some good players. 12, a lot of kids play both ways. 12 is a good corner as well. 5 plays safety, needs a good player too. They have a junior linebacker, number 33, who we think is a really good player also.
And finally, what are the overall keys to a Tiger win in Week 8 against Sun Valley?
Well, things that are important for us is number 1 to stop the run. We have to do that defensively. On offense, we need to establish the run early and often, and that's a lot of that hangs on our offensive line, and protecting the football and winning the turnover battle.
We want to thank Coach Moore and Dean Clark for joining us on the show this week. The Nate Moore Show has been brought to you each week by Reliable Heating and Cooling. I'm your host, Keyshawn Dorsey. Thanks for watching, and go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their Career Technical Student Organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Welcome to another edition of Swing, featuring Tiger Swing Band Director Jason Neel. We're on the air with you every Wednesday night following the Nate Moore Show. Our show is brought to you each week by Howard's Tiger Ags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Lexi Goff, and with me is Mr. Neel. Welcome to the show. Last Friday night's performance at halftime of the East St. Louis game included your much anticipated Disney show and fall homecoming activities. How did all of that play out?
Well, Lexi, I thought it went very well, and we were very happy to get to finally perform our Disney show for the home crowd. And I thought the timing of things went well. It's always interesting to try to get the whole band into costume in the middle of a game when the clock's running and you don't know how much time you actually have, and get everybody back to the stadium in time for halftime. And so that all played out well, and I thought the band performed well, and it seemed like the crowd enjoyed it. And so, I've heard good things from people that they enjoyed the show, and we have a video of that on our website that people can check out if they want to see it again, and lots of cool pictures. And I just thought the costumes were so well done, and I want to thank again Christy Musey for her work and her team, all the people who helped her get all those costumes ready for, over 140 people in different costumes. It was quite a task, and just real pleased with that show. And I thought the homecoming festivities worked out well with the court, and just the timing of that. It was nice to not have a visiting band, so we had the full 20-minute halftime to work with there, but all things seemed to go well from my point of view.
How did you go about selecting the music for the homecoming portion of the show?
Well, originally we had planned to do a cartoon show for our, sixth show of the year, but when our plans changed, we ended up just keeping the ballad. It just worked out that the Disney ballad that we had chosen was also a cartoon, and so now we're doing a Disney show, and we end up doing A Whole New World from Aladdin for the homecoming music, and everything just kind of worked out perfectly. So
during the actual game, the band is seated in the north end zone. How often do you play from that end zone location, and what songs do you typically play?
Well, we're bound by the rules of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, which says you can't actually play while the ball is in motion or a play is going on. So we try to play in between plays, and we don't try to play in between plays when we're on offense for a couple reasons. One, we want our players to be able to hear the calls and the huddle and know what's going on, so we make a better environment for them to hear. And number two, our offense seems to be kind of a hurry-up offense where we're not taking a lot of the play clock, so there's not a lot of time to even play in between plays. So you'll probably hear us playing more when we're on defense. We want to make things a little bit louder for the other team when they're on offense. And obviously we try to play and respond to what's going on in the game. If the play is going well, something happens that's good for us, we try to respond with some exciting music. And we use a lot of school songs, a lot of cheers, a lot of little stand beats. Our percussion does a lot of playing during the game. So we try to respond to what's going on in the game. And I don't know if every band does that, but we certainly try to do that at all our games.
A couple of weeks ago, members of the junior high band played along with your band in a halftime show. Can you tell us more about the bands at the middle and junior high school level?
Yes, we have, obviously at the junior high there's grades 4 through 8, but we start band in 5th grade. So we have a 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade band. And those bands are all under the direction of 3 individuals. Chris Nussbaum, Jim Unferdorfer, and our newest band director is Mr. James Gates. And those guys do a great job of, teaching the basics to our students and really getting them a good start on their instruments. And by the time they're in 7th and 8th grade, we invite them to come join us for a halftime show. And so there's a lot of students. You're talking over 300 students just in the junior high band program, on instruments. So those three gentlemen are very busy at the junior high school. So things are going well, and we always look forward to bringing them up into the high school and getting those students to choose to be part of the high school band. And that's another reason I go to the junior high every single day, to work also with the 8th grade band. Get them ready, get them to know me, and kind of to know some of the procedures and how things, some of the expectations of high school band students while they're still in 8th grade. So that transition to high school becomes a little bit easier each year.
And now, this word from Howard's Tiger Rags.
Massillon fans all know the best place to find great Tiger apparel and much more is Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Howard's Tiger Rags is proud to sponsor the Swing TV show on WHS-TV. How about a new football t-shirt and hat? See their cold weather items and Letterman jackets too. Need a hoodie? Howard's has nearly 300 in stock all the time. Don't forget about their infant and toddler apparel, tiger mugs, and framed wall art. They'll even help you get ready for prom. Visit Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. Follow them on Facebook and give them a like.
Thank you, Howard's Tiger Rags. I understand the band's annual fruit and nut sale began earlier this week. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, we passed out the information to the students on Tuesday, and that sale is going to run until October 22nd, I believe. So 2 weeks the students have to sell the fruit and nuts. So if anyone out there is interested in buying fruit and nuts, and we do sell this every year, they can see any band member. They can find information on our website, which is tigerswingband.com, our Facebook page. There's all sorts of ways you can buy fruit and nuts from the band. And so yeah, that sale will be running for 2 weeks.
How many fundraisers does the band have in a given year, and do they change each year?
Every so often we'll change a fundraiser, but usually we try to keep them the same every year. And I'd say we have, off the top of my head, we sell pepperoni rolls, we sell fruit and nuts, we sell cookie dough. We've been doing a mattress sale in the spring. We're going to do that again this year. So I think, four main fundraisers that we do. And so yeah, they're pretty consistent from year to year.
How does the band use the money that is generated from the various fundraisers?
Well, you probably are aware that band programs can be very expensive. You have, expensive uniforms, expensive instruments, sheet music, everything we play, we buy that music. And so there's just a ton of expenses that go with running a band. So all those funds go to help those costs, and we travel, you got busings, and we feed the band all the time, when we're at an away game or we're at a band show. So there's lots of things we use that money for. And good question, thanks.
So this Friday night's game is home against Sun Valley, Pennsylvania. What can you tell us about this week's halftime show?
Well, this week is going to be our senior show, and the last couple years we've been, running our senior show a little bit differently, but I think it's starting to catch on and go smoothly. We invite anyone in the senior class who'd like to have some input into the show to be part of what we call a design team. And they will select the music. They can write some of the routines and the drill formations if they want to get involved in that. There's a drum break that our 3 senior percussionists have written for the band. While that drum break's going on, the band's going to do a little dance for everybody. We've had a choreography team who's going to choreograph and teach that dance to the rest of the band. And so they've really had a hand in selecting all of what this show is going to be on Friday night. And And basically what we've kind of landed on the last couple years is having the seniors pick their favorite songs from the last 3 or 4 years. So what they've enjoyed playing the most. We're going to bring that back this Friday night for a halftime show, and we'll get to hear some of their favorite songs from the past 4 years.
We want to thank Mr. Neel, the director of the Tiger Swing Band, for being with us this week on Swing. Our show is sponsored each week by Howard's Tiger Rags in downtown Massillon. I'm your host, Lexi Goff. Thanks for watching, and always, go Tigers.
I joined cosmetology because I've always loved coloring hair and different colors and makeup.
I joined media because I've always had a passion for all things related to media.
I've always had a passion for teaching other people, especially topics that I'm interested in.
I want to pursue a career as an orthopedic surgeon.
And so when I saw that we had this class, I immediately circled it on my schedule and was excited to join.
This class has made me better because it made me very responsible.
I like the relationships that I've developed in this class.
The girls that are in here with me, I've really grown close with all of them.
I joined this class because I enjoy helping others and I want to make a difference.
Even like just making something and having people go, wow, that's really interesting. It means the world.
It was just a really good environment to be in. It was real hands-on, and it was just something I really wanted to do.
I joined the construction trades to gain experience in the job I want in the future.
Everything that this class has taught me will account for my career in the future.
Before I came to this class, I was unemployed, and Ms. Markley helped me get a job.
I'm going to use what I learned in manufacturing in order to better decide my career.
It gave me more knowledge on cars and gave me plans to go in the auto industry.
Massillon CTE works for me.
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 Works for me.
For me.
For me.
For me.
Massillon CTE works for me.